Bitcoin, we start with daily chart. Just I want to give a quick update. We didn't have the update for the long time because there was no much different, because whatever we discussed, this is what we get in my last analysis. That's why we didn't have really good, we didn't have much information to give update. No one see what's the next. First of all, we refer to my last analysis. When the price was within this range here, we discussed about two options. Either this is the flat relative to this for the next drop, because we mentioned if you get the next drop, this is the zone we have been looking for, 28,300 following by 26,100, and exactly the price dropped to that level. And the second option was when the price was here, I mentioned we can look for this one as a 1, 2, 3 before we get the next drop, because we mentioned if we get this option, then from there we want to see whether the price can break this zone or not. But I mentioned when the price was here, I mentioned if we want to look for the second option as a flat for one move up, if we want to see the reversal, we do the breakout of 38,510. Because I mentioned if the price break 38510, then the price can drop to this zone. Okay, as we can see, the price tag 38,510. There was some consolidation there, and this is what we get. All right, that means we were right with the first option. And as what we mentioned, if the price break 38510, then we go with the first option. That's why I mentioned if anyone wants to look for buy, we have to see the reversal. But as we can see, there was no reversal. Then we don't need these lines anymore. We just delete it. No one see what's the next. And as what we expected, the price dropped to the zone we have been looking for. And as we can see, 28,300 is working as a support. And we will look at the chart in this way. All right. And it depends on the strategy the traders they have been looking for. But for me, I was not looking for sell from here as well. Even we were expected the price with the breakout of the 38510, we were expected the price drop to 28,300. But for me, I was not looking for sell. Now we want to see what's the next. We move to weekly chart. And even if we refer to what analysis based on weekly chart, we mentioned if we want to look for buy, we prefer the price reverse from here. The reason we have been looking for running flat. But as we can see, the price couldn't reverse. We get this drop. And again, even based on the weekly, we look at 26,100, 26,100. Okay, but we don't like this option. The reason is right now, we have to put this one here. And as we can see, the price broke the previous top. If I put this one, broke the previous top, and we see the breakout of the previous low. That means this one is expanding flat if we want to look for the flat. Okay, then the reason we don't like the expanding, because the last wave can expand. And with the breakout of 26, even we can look for 26K, we can look for 20K. That's why if anyone wants to look for buy, they have to see the wait for the proper trade setup, and we have to wait for the reversal. Because how deep this one can go, expanding flat doesn't give us a really good information. That's why even we can look for 20K if the price could break the 26. All right. And even based on weekly chart, if we refer to the MACD, we don't see really good information for the reversal. The another indicator, if we put this low relative to the previous one, we see we have a divergence, but we cannot really rely on this information. Okay, that's mean based on weekly chart, I don't see any reversal point yet. And even based on lower time frames, that's mean I don't see any opportunity for buy at this point. Now, the question is, can we expect this one to turn to what we have here before we get the next drop? Okay, then if anyone wants to look for buy from here, if the price reverses as a corrective, any opportunity for buy is a short term. That's why for me, as I mentioned, we don't have really good opportunity to look for buy. And if the price reverses as a corrective move, any opportunity for buy will be a short term. Even for me at this point, if I want to look for buy, I prefer the price drop one more time, at least tag 28,300 before I look for buy. The best thing is if the price could drop as a corrective, as extension. If we refer to the Ethereum, we have similar, the chart, the way is moving similar to what I draw here. If the price drop as a corrective, it can give us better opportunity to look for buy, because it gives us extension before we get the reversal. But at this point, I don't see any trade setup. And even if the price reverses from here as a corrective, any opportunity for buy based on lower time frame will be short term. That's why for me, I prefer to see next drop, the price to drop to this zone. Then we want to see how deep it can go following by divergence before we take the trade for the long term. But at this point, I don't see any opportunity for buy. Can we look at this one in relative to this? Any opportunity for buy based on lower time frame will be short term. That means at this point, we don't have, technically, we don't have any trade setup for buy. Doesn't mean the price cannot reverse from here. Okay, that's mean if you want to look for the trade setup. And if I move to lower time frame, even based on forward chart, we don't see any trade setup for buy. That's why I'm looking for this one. I'm looking for one more drop. Then from there, we can make a decision how deep this one can go or whether we can look for the reversal. All right, having entry above here, above the stop, I won't suggest it at all. And any trade for buy will be short term, and we are not really interested to look for sell at this point. The only times we can look for sell if the price continue as a corrective, as a deeper correction, as what I highlight based on daily chart. Then from there, we can look for sell. And that's mean at this point, we don't have any trade setup either for buy or sell. And even based on 1 hour chart, can we look at this one as a trade setup as a short term? Maybe we can get one move up, but the only option is to put the entry above the top. It's not a really good trade setup. I won't suggest. It depends on the strategy the traders they use. And for me, I'm not really interested to look for that trade. Right now, I'm looking at this. I want to see whether we can get one more drop, at least the price tag 28 or 28,300 before I take the trade for the long term. Okay, that's mean at this point we don't have any trade setup. Still, we are within this correction. We want to see how this correction can form and how deep this can be before we take the next trade. Anyway, the market the way is moving is quite corrective, and in this case we just follow the chart. If I see any opportunity there for buy or sell, and mostly we're looking for buy, I will give update. And again, I don't see any trade setup at this point, but it doesn't mean the price cannot reverse from here. We're talking about how we can get the trade. Technically, we can look for the trade setup. Anyway, we just follow the chart. If I see any update, I will share. Thanks.